Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I have an adorable little project for you today. And if you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a Christmas version of the same project with a stamp set that will be coming up in the holiday catalog that matches the bundle that I'm using today. So, hello everyone. Wow, I'm so glad that you're here this morning. Oh, I even have my mother-in-law here this morning. Isn't that awesome? I'm so glad you're here live with me. All right, here is the project. It's really cute. I've made it up in a birthday theme, but in the end, I'm going to show you how I made it also in a Christmas theme. And maybe next month, I'm going to show you how to make different size buildings of the same with the same stamp set so that you can create yourself a little village. But I'm going to wait till we get the holiday catalog so that I can share with you how to build it with the two different stamp sets. So I'm going to hold off on that. But in the meantime, I suggest getting this bundle now because the dies match the stamp set that's coming up in the holiday catalog. And this bundle has already been on the back order list once. So I don't know, maybe they brought in a lot more and maybe we will be fine, but I'm thinking it might be a good idea to get it now just in case down the road, and you want to make your holiday project and it's not available. And I'm talking about the dies now. Stampin' Up! Produces our stamp sets in Utah. So if they go on the back order list, it's a short period of time. If the dies go on back order, they are sourced from overseas, so they take a lot longer. Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk to you all afterwards. This project isn't a hard project, but if you want to create this little window the way I've done it and do all the coloring the way I've done it, it takes just a little while, but it's not a hard project. The box itself is pretty easy. So I'm going to show you how to make this from start to finish. Let's get started. Oh, before I do, just let me pop up this host code. This host code is the one that you're going to be using if you want to order with me. And if you spend $50, you're going to get a package of, I actually pulled them out. You're going to get a package of these adorable they're adhesive back star trinkets. These will be mailed out in September, and these are perfect for your holiday projects. All right, now I'm going over to my other camera and I'm going to get rid of my host code so that you can see what I am doing. All right, this is the Let's Go Shopping bundle, and it comes with a stamp set and a die. And when you buy them together as a bundle, you can save 10%. So that's really cool. Do I need to tell you anything else about that's the main ingredient? Oh, before I forget, I also want to mention that our clear envelopes, if you want to package this up, our clear envelopes work kind of well. If you slide your little box in this way, I'm making it look harder than it actually is. It's actually not too hard to slide this in. But if you want to package this up, this has adhesive. You'll peel off the adhesive and then you'll just kind of do it like this. And then you have a way to package this up if maybe you're selling them at a craft fair, or maybe you just want to make sure that when you drop this off for someone, it stays protected. This is an easy way to do it. And these are our clear medium envelopes. You get 50 in a pack. They're great for many different reasons. You can put your card in one of these so your beautiful artwork shows through the front. And I believe they're even mailable by US Post. I would check with your post office to make sure that's still a possibility. I know people have mailed me things in clear envelopes. I haven't done it myself. I kind of like the element of surprise coming out of an envelope when I send my cards, but you can definitely do that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this. We're going to start off, we're going to do some scoring. I'm going to show you how to make the box first. Okay, let me get my scoring board here. let me get a piece of cardstock. I am using thick basic white cardstock, and I will have a project sheet, everyone. If you would like this project sheet for this project, please make sure you are on my email list. The project sheet will be mailed out on Saturday. Look for the link below in the description of the video if you're not already on my email list. Okay, my project sheet obviously is not ready yet, otherwise I would have shown it. So this piece needs to be 4 1/4 inches by 8 1/2. 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. We're going to start by putting the long side up at the top, and we're going to score at the 3-inch mark, the 4-inch mark, the 7-inch mark, and the 8-inch mark. We're going to turn it to the short side. Doesn't matter which short side, either one is fine. And you're going to score at the 1-inch mark and the 3 1/4 inch mark. Let's see if I can angle this up to the camera so you can, I've got some light coming through here. Trying to angle it so you can see the diagram. I will have a diagram in the project sheet that I'm going to mail out. Yeah, my lighting is, I'm blocking out the sun, so you can see a little bit of my blinds, sunshine peeking through, but it's creating a little bit of havoc with my lighting this morning. I'm trying to tilt it so you can see the score lines going in the opposite direction. Any case, in a moment, I think you'll see them better once I do the folding. All right. So we're going to need to cut this. And the first thing we're going to cut, how about I do this? I'm going to grab a pencil. This will help a little bit. I like to cut on my scoring tool because I find it easier. So we're going to cut along the score lines here and here. And you can see right here, this is the part up at the top that has that skinny segment. Okay, so we're going to cut down. So we're going to cut down 2 deep, and so I'll just put this right on my my trimmer here. I like to do this right on my trimmer because it cuts really straight lines. You can also do this with scissors. So we're going to cut, and I'm going to line this up one more time. And we're going to cut. So you can see here we've cut 2 deep in. And then I'm going to cut off these 2, not the center part, but just these 2. So let me show you what that looks like. I'll line this up one more time. Bring my blade to the right spot, and then I'm going to bring this arm down. I'm going to lift again and bring it down. So we are cutting off those 2. So now that's what your end is going to look like. Okay, so we've got these right here that are cut, and we've removed those 2 on either side there. We're going to turn this now, and there's this middle segment. We're going to, I'm going to line this up and I'll show you in just a second. Sorry, my lighting's bad this morning. So again, I'm just going to come out and I'm going to do it from just up to the first score intersection. And since this is lined up on my trimmer, I'm going to do this on both sides. I cut up here and I cut up here. Then I'm going to shift, line it up once more. And I'm going to cut, lift, press down, cut. Okay, now you should be able to see what I have done. And you can do this with scissors if you want. It's not a big deal. This is what it looks like at this point. Got these 2 tabs here and those 2 tabs there. Okay, so let's finish these. We're going to angle cut all of these tabs. So we'll start off at this end with the skinny end tab. And I'm going to just angle this just a bit. I'll like flip it over. I like to cut from this side better. Okay. And then we're going to do the same with these tabs, except we're going to angle cut the inside here and the inside here. And right here. Okay, so we've got this angle cut, this one angle cut, this one angle cut. And we're going to do the same thing right here. This is just going to allow for your box to come together more easily. And you can do this box, you can do it without the windows. But I'm going to show you the more complicated way today to do it with windows, okay? So if you wanted to, you could just create this and it wouldn't have the see-through windows. And that would be super cute as well. So in that case, you would just go ahead and glue these building pieces on there without any care to whether or not you're going to do windows. But I'm going to show you how to do the windows, and then you can decide how you want yours to be in the future. Okay, so this piece is prepped and ready to go, but we need to, if we're going to do the windows, we're going to need to do die cutting right through this box. So we're going to set this aside for a moment and we're going to do our stamping. We're going to need these two building pieces and we're going to go ahead, ink these up. So if you did not want to color these, this is what I would suggest, is stamping these stamps on a colored cardstock and then cutting them out. That way you don't have to do any of the coloring that I'm going to do, and you'll save yourself a little bit of time. I'm going to color though. I'm going to start off with Azure Afternoon. This is my light Azure Afternoon. I'm going to color it the exact same way I did in the original one. Coming along. Because there's a lot of windows, it's just basically outlining this. If I was going to make a lot of these, I would go ahead and I would stamp a whole bunch of these and then like maybe take them in front of the TV or put on an audio book and then just color while doing that. Coloring can be very therapeutic. I have a friend who loves to color and she says it really relaxes her. So you might be one of those people or you might not like coloring. And if you don't like coloring, then do the cardstock method. These Stampin' Blends really are nice and smooth because they blend out all the lines. I'm not doing any shading at all. I'm going to use my Flirty Flamingo Dark to do the door. And I'm not worrying about the windows because I'm cutting those out. If you were doing this and you weren't cutting it out and you were coloring, you could maybe do like a light gray on the windows, or you can just leave them blank because they're windows after all. The absence of something. Okay. So we've got the bottom one almost done. I'm going to take my dark gray granite. I'm going to do the stoop here. And I'll do this top piece real quick. I'm just avoiding those little, there's some little tiny shingles coming down. I'm going to keep those white. And then we'll come around here come around and around and do this window frame. This won't be cut out, so you can still see the frame on here. So you'll want to color that if you want to create like an accent. All right, we're going to keep going with the gray. We're going to do gray up at the top of this piece too. And when I come back and do this video in fall so we can create a Christmas village, I'm going to show you how to do a shorter building as well. So I'll show you how to do a building that's like just up until here. But for now, we're going to do the big building today. So I'm using my light Flirty Flamingo now. And this piece down here doesn't have an end line, so I'm just going to kind of fill it in approximately where I think the cut will be. The die is going to cut that out. So I'm going to use my bullet point to get around here. Okay. All right, I think I've colored everything. We're going to create this little awning with dies afterwards. So we'll do that in another step. We're going to bring in our die cutting machine now. And you'll need your bigger die cutting machine, not the mini one, because the mini one won't be wide enough when we go to do the other part with the windows. So I'm going to pop these aside here so we have a little bit more room. I've got my handle off to the side. This is what I'm going to use to crank it through. I've got my base plate. These plates all come with your machine. Base plate number 1. Thin die adapter number 2. And we'll have a cutting plate, number 3 plate, and then another cutting plate, number 3. Actually, I'm going to put this one on the bottom. Usually find one of my cutting plates stays flatter, and I like to use that as my bottom piece. So let's pop these on here and grab the dies. Oops. There's 2 dies that we're going to need. So let's pop these on here. I'm going to use a little bit of this labeling and cover up tape. It's like the top of a Post-it note. If you don't have this, you can just use the top of a Post-it note. Just cut it right off. Or if you want to get some of this tape, just go down below in the description of my video. I have a link to it in my Amazon store. Get it through there. So then we'll just pop this on here. I'm looking to make sure I can see the black outline of the 3 sides. All right, so those are all pinned down. And I'm going to run this through the machine now. And I should have mentioned, when I stamped and colored these, I use regular basic white cardstock. There's 2 types of basic white. One is the thick, which I used for my box, and then I use the regular basic white to stamp and color. The reason for this is the regular basic white has a very smooth finish that is really nice for coloring on. And the thick basic white is thicker for my actual box. So you can choose. I mean, if you want to, you can make the box. You can do it either way. It's just a preference of mine to use the smooth, regular basic white for my coloring and stamping, and the other thicker one for my boxes. Okay, let's pop these off for a moment. And we're going to bring in this piece. And I think at this point, it might be a good idea to fold it along the score lines. Let's do that first. I'm using my bone folder to help crease those score lines. Just one more. All right. Okay, so since this box is going to be folded in like this, take a look right here. You want to make sure you glue this in the right spot. So with the top tab, the one that's going to tuck in up at the top, we're going to put our building on here like this, okay, on this segment right here. We're going to start off with the smaller piece, and we'll make sure that we glue this right up at the top. These pieces of the building right here are going to stick out just a little bit, okay? The sides should be pretty equal to the scores of the box, but those two pieces right there are gonna stick out right up at the top, okay? So let's glue this down first. I'm not gonna put any glue on those tiny points on the outside, obviously, because that's not gonna stick to anything. We'll just slide this into place. And if you want, you can kind of fold this and make sure this is right up at the top. Okay. So that's what the first piece looks like. And then we're going to take the second piece and add it down here at the bottom. And remember, these two pieces are going to stick out a bit. And the stoop goes a little bit below the shop window. So you're going to line up your bottom score line with this end of the die cut right here. All right, and when that looks good, you can press that down. Okay, now we're going to cut our windows because we want to cut right through to the back so that we could see the candy inside. So we're going to bring back in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Same sandwich as before. Number 1 plate, number 2 thin die adapter. We're going to put down our cutting plate. So this time our piece is going to go in like this. I find it easier to arrange things over here. Okay, so let's see if we can position all of these together at the same time to roll through. So just make sure that that metal piece is inside. I've got this one. I'm just taking really tiny pieces of this tape just inside the lines. Okay, and then we just need one more. It's really important that you position these down with some sort of cling or something like that, because especially if you're doing all 3 of these at the same time, you don't want to shift. And remember, you don't have to do these windows. If you want to make it an easier project, you don't have to create these windows. Just take one more glance to make sure your windows are aligned properly, and then carefully, I'm gonna put it like this, carefully place this on top. And then we're going to run this through. And I don't need to run it all the way through, just until I get to the bottom, and then I can actually run it back. All right, let's see how I did. Pull it off carefully. Don't want to tear off any of my coloring. And then, okay, so there we go. Right, one thing I forgot to bring over here this morning is window sheet. Let me grab that. All right, let's move this out of the way. I've got some leftover bits of window sheet. So let's grab this and see if this one will work. Yeah, that looks like it will work. Just need to cut it down to size. So the size of this rectangle right here is 2 1/4 by 3 inches. So you'll want your piece to be just under 3 inches. So just go 1/16 less than 3 inches. Okay. And 1/16 less than 2 1/4. Let's see. Is that? Yeah. You know what? It's actually perfect. It's just 1/16 less than 2 1/4, so I didn't have to cut it in the other direction. Okay, so now flip this over, and you want to do this before you assemble your box, because afterwards it's going to be so much harder. I'm going to use Tombow, and I'm just going to take this and just try and use very, very light adhesive to go all the way around my windows. The ideal thing to do, which I'm not going to do, is to let this adhesive dry, because it remains tacky afterwards. And if you put too much glue on here now, like if I had glommed the glue on, I think you can just barely see it. It would ooze out, but if you let it dry, it's just going to become tacky and it will stay in place. So I am going to go ahead and do this because I used a very light hand, and I'm just going to go and stick this right on top of here and then just kind of press down. You don't want the glue oozing out through the windows. It's not a good look. But if you do it carefully, you can do it right away. If not, just let it dry, set it aside and let it dry. And then when we flip it over to the other side, you can see now your little building has little windows on it. Okay, let me show you the best way to assemble this box. Oh, you know what? Before we go ahead, you can stamp on this top portion. You need to do this now, or if you forget, like on my original box, I forgot. So I cut myself a piece that was 2 1/4 by 1 inch, and I did it afterwards, and I just glued my piece onto the top. But if you want to save yourself a piece of cardstock and you remember, do it now. So I'll grab my 2 colors. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo and Azure Afternoon, and I'm going to grab my 2 stamps. This is also good to know in case you make a mistake in stamping, because you've done all of this work and then you're going to stamp on this box, and if you make a mistake, you're going to cry. But don't cry. Just cut yourself another 2 1/4 by 1 inch piece for the top, and you can adhere it afterwards. So we're just going to center this up at the top of the box, and I'm going to do this into Flirty Flamingo. You are such a sweet treat. See, right about there. Close this one up. And I like the look of using 2 different colors of ink. And then Happy Birthday goes right down here. Oh, you know what I did? my ink pad was super inky. So I actually took a paper towel, and on this end right here, I took off some of the ink because it was too much ink, and it was causing, I think I actually inked this up. You can see what it did here. It kind of blurred my happy birthday a little bit. So I can go back, and if I want to, I can add another 2 1/4 by 1 inch piece over this piece if I'm not happy with that look. But when you get a new ink pad, test out how inky it is, especially with small wording. So what I should have done, I kind of inked in the center and then went over to my non-inky side. What I should have done is cleaned this off, made sure it was dry, and then redid it in the non-inky part where it's a little less inky. So I got a better stamped image. So if that happens to you, just stop what you're doing and redo. Okay, so now I think we're finally ready for assemblage. Oh, one other thing before we move on. So sometimes when I'm using that adhesive to adhere the windows, the temporary adhesives, it leaves like a little bit of adhesive on here. So what you'll want to do, I have a white eraser right here, and it's got a little bit of smudge on it. So first of all, I'm going to erase the smudge so that it's like white, okay? And then I'm just going to gently if I feel any adhesive stickiness, I'm just going to erase it with my eraser. I think I got everything. Okay, there's a little bit right here. Okay, so it made a little smudge now, but I always want to make sure that you're starting off with white, because sometimes whatever you have on your eraser is going to transfer onto your project, and you don't want that. But just a nice white eraser. Make sure you get a good quality one. So I think this was a Staedtler white eraser. They're very good, very nice and soft, and they'll just remove any of that adhesive that's stuck to there. All right, let me show you the best way to put this box together. So we're going to start from this bottom end first. We'll turn this over so it's facing to the back side, and we're going to start with these 2 tabs right here, and I'm going to fold them over, and I'll put adhesive on them both. You want adhesive, you want them all over the tab, but you don't want a big gloopy mess. You don't want adhesive oozing out. So get it all over, but kind of use the nozzle to move it around if you get too much adhesive in one section. All right, so we're going to adhere the sides together first. So I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to kind of slide this piece. It's actually right next to the bottom, so it's creating a very nice fold right here. And since I cut this with my trimmer, it's going to be super nice. I also, remember we angle cut these pieces, so that's also going to help it come together really nicely. So we'll do this bottom first, and like I said, I'm just making sure this piece is right against the bottom. Look how nice that corner is coming together when I just kind of push it against the corner. Okay. And then these pieces are going to adhere to the side. So I'll do one side first. Come through. And again, this piece is going to be right against the bottom. Press along. You can put this on its side. Take the rounded end of your bone folder and use it to press on the inside so it really sticks nicely. Okay, then we'll do this other side. It really helps if you can get this so you're like pushing it kind of onto the surface that you're working on. You're bringing it in so you get that nice clean side. Let me bend these back and then come in with your bone folder and just smooth that out. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little trick for the top of your box. So these fold in really nicely. This folds in really nicely, but let's see if, oh, this one didn't pop up. Okay, but sometimes when you're doing this, your top piece is going to sit like this, and that's not going to make you very happy because you want your box to be closed. So I've seen this on boxes like that you get at the store. They do this little thing. They'll take this piece and just cut up maybe 3/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch along the score line on either side. Show you that. See? And see? Okay. And I'm actually going to bend it a little bit like this, okay? Down here. What this is going to do, it's going to create this tab that bends back and it's going to hook onto your bottom tabs. And if you find that they're still not hooking, just keep bending that piece a little bit more and eventually it will get to the point where it hooks in to that other one, and that's going to allow it to stay down and not pop up. Now, of course, mine just worked out perfectly on camera, but if you have that problem, just do those 2 little cuts and bend those tabs in a little bit, and you should get that nice, perfect closure that you want. All right, let's finish off this box with a little bit of ribbon. I'm using, this is ribbon. It actually comes in 3 different colors. It's a combo pack. This one is As Your Afternoon. It's called the Sheer Ribbon Combo Pack. Let me grab the other 2 colors. Last week, I used a lemon lolly. Remember our little candy box from last week with the mini M&Ms? I used the lemon lolly one, and it also comes in, what is this pink called? It's a new pink. It is called Bubble Bath. This is the other ink. I actually, other ribbon, it would actually look nice on here too. So these are 3 great colors. You get all 3 of these in the ribbon combo pack. So I tied a bow earlier, and we'll just kind of arrange this a little bit. And we'll take some tear and tape. I'm going to put it right along the corner here. And just cut that off. Press that down. And just put my bow right there. Oh, it's so cute. So cute. And you could put whatever candy you want in this box. But I did kisses. You could also do M&Ms. You could do like a loose candy, or you can do whatever tiny candy. This kisses they're about 1 inch across, just a slightly under 1 inch. This box is 1 inch deep, about 3 inches high. 3 inches high, 2 1/4 across. Let's count how many I can put in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12, about a dozen kisses will fit in this box. Okay. Voila. So cute, right? It's like a little tiny candy shop. I just love it. All right, so, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do this little awning. Let me show you how that works. So I actually cut these 2 pieces earlier. So this one right here in Flirty Flamingo, and then this one right here just through the die cutting machine, just like I did all the other die cut pieces, but I wanted to save myself a step on camera. So I'm just going to take those two pieces and adhere them together. So we'll just take, you know, that's the kind of the part that makes it look more like a candy shop. You can't forget to do that. Okay, so let's take that and adhere it on here. Oh, come on. Okay. All right, I'm going to use 2 mini dimensionals. You could also use a regular dimensional, but I just ran out of my regular dimensionals. I do have some across the room, but they're not at my work table. So I'm just going to do 2 mini dimensionals on the back of here. And then we'll just pop this on here. It's going to look so cute. Look at that. It's just like adorable, right? So adorable. All right. I promised you a sneak peek from the holiday catalog. So this stamp set I'm going to show you is not available yet, but it will be available starting September 6th. And the buildings, you can recognize them right here. They match the die set, these two pieces. So it gives you more opportunity to build buildings, and there's a wreath and presents and a Christmas tree and some Christmas greetings. So now we have more options to build like a little village in a Christmas theme. So I thought I would create one just to kind of show you what it could look like if you did a little Christmas box. And now, like, just imagine these and having these ones kind of done in Christmas colors as well. And then imagine maybe a shorter building next to it and then a Christmas tree next to it. So you can see how you can build on this. So I love that we have an additional stamp set to use with the bundle that is coming out in September. I would recommend, though, that Let's Go Shopping bundle. The dies, especially, they may go on back order again. I don't know. Maybe there's enough. There's a lot of cute things in the holiday catalog, and maybe they won't go on back order anytime soon. But just in case, the Let's Go Shopping bundle is available now. So you can get the dies and the stamp set now. And then if you want to, you can get the town stamp set when it comes out in the holiday catalog. All right. And remember, I'll pop back over here. Remember, if you're using the host code, the Let's Go Shopping bundle is just under $50. So just add like one more thing onto your order to get over to the $50 so that you can get my gift of the month, which were these cute little stars. And I don't know, where's my little... Oh. Okay, so I'm coming back over here. So this is the little Christmas tree that goes with this. And I think it would look really cute with one of these stars right on the top of the tree. That's why I didn't color it. So it's kind of nice. Those stars, I think, you know, they look like one of those Bethlehem stars, you know, Star Wonder. So I think those would look really cute on there. I don't know. I feel like those are going to they're going to be very popular. So that's why I have them as my September gift, because I'm going to order them as soon as they become available in September, and hopefully they'll still be available and I won't have to substitute out anything. All right, and we also still have our kit sale going on this month. All of our kits are on sale. So if you like doing kits, or if you want to get some kits to give as gifts, now's a good month to do that. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to talk to you all. I hope I hope you like that. Remember, if you want a project sheet for this project, just make sure you're on my email list. I will email you the project sheet tomorrow, and that will have all the measurements on it, a photo, a diagram, so that you can make the project easily along with my video. All right, let's say hello to everyone. Hello, Nalita. She says, I already love this. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad. Hello, Ellie. She says, I do love this set. Reminds me of the hours I spent playing with paper dolls. Love them. Ah, yeah, that's cute. We even have some little people in the, where are they? Reach. There's some little carolers on there. You can add those as a little tab off the side building. Kind of fun to make a little tiny village out of little boxes and fill them all with candy, right? Good morning, Nancy. Can't wait to see this one. Oh, great. And I hope the box, I think the box, remember, you don't have to necessarily do the windows on this box. If you didn't do the windows, this box would be a lot faster as well. So there's faster ways to do this box, you know, stamp on colored cardstock. If you stamp on colored cardstock, you could also do the back of the box in a different color as well to match maybe the front of your box. So, you know, think about that. You could stamp and do the building on one color cardstock, like say you stamp this on as your afternoon. Then you could stamp again on like pink and then just cut out the door, just so the door would be a different color. Just some suggestions. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Mary says hello. She's having a nice sunny day in Indiana, and that's awesome. I'm glad you're having sunshine. We're having lots of sunshine here today too. Fair Blue says, oh my goodness, this is a very cute project. Wow, I'm glad you like it. Hello, Deborah. She said, what a fun project for us. I'm glad you think it's fun. Hello, Janine. Oh, Janine is also mentioning the paper dolls, the June Allison ones. They must have been before my time. I don't think I had any paper dolls. Hello, Birgit from Germany. Bear Blue says, I'm going to need a thumbs up. Aw, thank you. I always forget to ask people to give me a thumbs up, to leave me a comment, to subscribe to my channel. If you do all those things, that really helps me and my channel, and it helps me get seen by more people, and I really appreciate that. Thank you for that, Bear Blue. Hello, Marty. She has a sunny day too. And my mother-in-law is here this morning. I think that's so awesome. She is such a great supporter of my business. And she takes things that I make and she makes them at home with less supplies, with things she has on hand. And I'm always amazed at what she does. And then she takes a photo of it and sends it to me. And she makes things for her friends and things. Okay, I have to tell you this. My mother-in-law, she is the most amazing hostess ever. Like, if you sit down to a meal at her table, you will be amazed because she just cooks fabulous things. And so she likes to sometimes make little favors for the table as well. And I love it when she's able to take one of my designs and alter it. So hello. I call her Lita for Abuelita. When our son was little, she was called Lita by him. But so hello, Lita. All right, moving along. Okay, hello, Vicky from Arizona. Hello, Carol from Florida. Marty said this bundle's on her wish list. Now it's going on your buy list. Aw, that's cool. Hello, Deidre. Let's see. Oh, Deidre asked, are you just using a small jar for a glue holder in between gluing pieces? Yes, and actually, I never cap my glue anymore. Unless I'm going like away for like a week, or during the move I capped my glue. But other than that, I just let it sit upside down in this glue jar. And the cool thing is I rarely have to unclog it now because I do that. It just works out really well. This used to be a little, it was a little honey jar, a little gift jar that we had. I think what would also work well, that's more common, is a baby food jar. Would work really well. I like the weight of a jar because it holds up nicely. It doesn't tip like I think plastic would. So look for maybe like a glass baby food jar. I've measured this before, but let's measure it again. The mouth of this jar, just measuring it up here, it's about 1 3/4 inches wide. That's upside down, but from here to here, going across, it's about 1 3/4 inches wide. But my glue bottle does not take up all of that distance, so you could probably get away with just a smaller one. So yeah, all right. I hope that helps, Deidre. Nina says, thumbs up, everyone. Thank you. Kristen says, cute, cute. Hello, Dee. Nancy says she loves the Christmas shop. Yeah, it's cute. I love it when Stampin' Up! Comes out with an additional stamp set to use with the same dies so that you can get more use out of it. Dee says, such a cute little gift box. The village should be a great gift as well for Christmas. Nancy says, love my haircut too. Well, thank you. Actually, this is just, I haven't had my haircut in several months, but this is just me waking up in the morning. I shower at night and my hair does what it will. And I just brush it out in the morning, and this is what I got. So thank you. Not new, but I'm always happy when my hair looks good on camera. Hello, Diane, and she says, cute project. Oh, Nalita says she already did her box. Okay, so Nalita is one of my team members, and I love her. She lives in Puerto Rico, and she is, I think she's my fastest stamper on my team, because whenever we have team stamping nights, she's like always done before everyone else. And so as I'm talking, she's like making the box. So that's a great compliment, that fact that, well, maybe I'm going super slow, but she was able to make it in the time that I did all of this talking. So that's super cool. I hope you send me a photo, Nalita. I want to see how yours came out. Marty says she does the same thing with glue too. And she uses a baby food jar. Okay, great. Yeah, I think this is just like a great way, especially if you craft every day. And I use, this is my #1 adhesive, is the Tombow, because it sticks so well. I use it for my cards. I use it for my 3D projects. You saw me use a little tiny bit of tear and tape, but the rest of the time I use this glue because it sticks. It's very economical. This lasts a long, long time, and it doesn't fail me. The formula is just perfect for putting things together. So I really love it. Sandra says she uses a candle votive glass. So that's another good idea for this little jar, like a little votive that you would use for a candle. That sounds great. So Marty says, does the arched mullion window from the Christmas set work with the original bundle? It kind of does, but so it is kind of like a half arch. So like I haven't quite figured out how, like I looked at the samples because I was interested in that as well. So if you see on the original, on this one, it's not quite the same distance as the top. So I'm not 100% sure how it all works together. So hopefully by September someone will have come up with some more card designs with this one. The Shop the Town bundle has just, or the stamp set just came out. People have just been able to get it, and there's not too many samples with it yet. the Let's Go Shopping bundle has been around for longer. So we'll just have to see. I'll have to answer that question on my next video using that bundle or stamp set. Okay. I'm the first to admit that I do not know everything. I'm super curious though, so I didn't have time to figure it out before I got on here. Carol says it's a very hot week in Florida. I can imagine. I used to live in Tennessee, and I remember the summers there very well. It was super, super hot. All right. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend. Watch for my project sheet tomorrow. And I will see you next week on my regular Tuesdays and Fridays. And I hope you will join me for one of my lives. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.